Stock traders, I hope all of you had a fantastic trading week. In today's video, I'm going to give you a new top 7 list. These are top 7 stocks that are mid to long-term picks that should be great for this next coming week. I want you to be successful in the market. The only thing I ask in return is that you hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. Also, if you haven't done so before, consider subscribing, turning on those bell notifications so you get notified when one of these videos comes out. I come out with free lists throughout the week. I have a couple series that I'm currently working on. Of course, this top 7 series, we have the penny stocks squeeze series. We also have the long-term pick series and the regular squeeze plays that no one is talking about series. So I appreciate you tuning in and checking those out kind of going forward. Okay, so I like to recover all the different stocks that were sold in our Patreon group this last week. Just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on, standard gains per pick. It's so important that you track your trades, whether you're a member of the group or not. It is so important to track your trades. We have different levels in our group. It is I of course recommend it. There are lots of great stocks. Now, you are not following me, but you are following stock strategies that I use. And we have lots of different strategies being used each and every day, and lots of traders and different trade ideas when they're in there. So for the small amount that it costs, you will easily make it up with just one great trade. Okay, so let's cover the insider swing play to start. Sold NWFL for a 2.20% loss. VINC for a 1.99% loss. FTCV for a 4.31% loss. LRMR sold for a 4.46% loss. RIG sold for a 4.04% gain. ASAN sold for a 22.91% gain, and HOFT sold for a 2.39% gain. So that was 3 out of 7, a 2.34 average gain per pick. We had some that won, we had some that lost. A lot lower win percentage than typical. A lot of these sales happened earlier in the week when the market was down, but they had hit their exit point as part of the strategy, and that's why I exited. The others did well. They were later in the week and had finally hit their exit point, so it was time to get out and move on. We only had one phase data or PDUFA play that sold, and that was SAVA, S-A-V-A. Sold it on Friday for a 19.50% gain. The reason being is that we had seen some weakness in the price action and a reaction to other news happening and how the FDA could be reviewing the Alzheimer's approval of BIIB. Anyway, so it was a real concern, and for that reason, I decided to exit for a nice gain. Anyway, we were up. It was time to take our gains in that type of situation. We have our squeeze play, and squeeze play was really rough this last week. Definitely the shorts won the battle this last week, but sold SPRT for a 14.29% gain, sold IVC for a 0.37% gain, sold GBR for a 16% loss. Now, I'm really frustrated with myself on GBR. I messed up this trade. I try to execute every trade according to the plan. It had gotten to overbought levels. I was dealing with some other things and I didn't exit. I could have made a 20% gain on this stock if I would have sold it during my typical time, but because I became greedy and held on to it too long, I suffered a 16% loss. So that is a lesson to everybody. Stick to the strategy. Unfortunately, I did not. I usually do, and I made a mistake in that one. Anyway, SY sold for a 9% loss. So that was 2 out of 4 with an average loss per pick of 2.59%. There were not lots of callouts in this room because a lot of these have not been alerting as part of the strategy. It appears the bears are definitely winning, but they will squeeze soon. This happens in cycles. This is how it goes. And I expect that squeeze strategy to definitely be back here a big time. Now, that is covered in our standard room of our Patreon group. And the best performing strategies this week by far were the penny squeeze play. 6 out of 7 wins. That was really good. So that video came out on Tuesday, and that did just really terrific. And the buyback strategy that's in our premium room, 6 out of 6 right now. All of those are open, and they have so much more to go. We have not hit our exit point yet. So I like to cover where I'm at as far as the month, and so far month to date I am at a 0.07% gain, but year to date at a 158.72% gain, so 158% gains. Nothing to sneeze at, having a fantastic year so far. Really looking forward to and trying for 300% gains again or more this year, and I've had a lot of success in the stock market definitely over the last couple of years, doing very, very well. And I get there with my strategies and tracking my trades, and so that is the secret if you are looking for stable gains. Now, these type of things, there's no guarantees of the future. The stock market can fluctuate, so lots of craziness. Let's take a look at the current state of the market, and let's go to the SPY and take a look at how things are going. So we are on, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but we are on wave one of a very bullish wave. So we could be at the beginning of a fantastic bullish summer. And so this is really interesting. Definitely the SPY is really doing terrific, and it's at new all-time highs. I can't believe it, at 435. Just continues to move upwards. But we will have a pullback at some point, and a gap to fill is right there, right around 425 to look for, and that's one gap. Another gap that's way down here at 412, 411, and another one at 401. So there's three gaps that at some point will get filled. It'll probably be during a major correction of some sort. It is not looking anywhere close to that. Everything is bullish right now. This is looking like a bullish market right now. It started to look like it might turn negative, and that was a quick fake out, and it never did cross here on the MACD. And so I did not go into my bearish strategies yet, and I held strong, and we had that big bounce back. And the reason is because the price action didn't suggest it was time to do so yet. So that's very, very important. Wait for this to cross negative before you make any changes. Okay, so let's take a look at the VIX. It's very important to pay attention to the VIX and what's going on here. Big beat down on Friday. This is all the way down to 16. As long as this stays under 20, we do not have to worry about a correction, in my opinion. And this is going lower, and it looks to be very bullish for the market. So very, very good. Of course, I always keep my eye on it and always looking out for it. So look to these videos for that, or the Patreon group for sure. All right, now let's get to the top 7. We've got so many great stocks to talk about. And so I want to give you some stocks to help you to be successful. A lot of these are mid to long-term holds. So they are stocks that you can buy and that you can hold for the week. They should be great or longer. So I like to pick out some stuff that's not super short term, so that it can help you to be successful. Okay, the very first one is VRCA. This was one on last week's list. We are still holding this for a PDUFA run-up. They have a PDUFA date of September 23rd. Analysts have an average target price of $19.86. And this is a PDUFA run-up date. My average on this is $13.63. Way down in this, down 23.92%. We were playing the original PDUFA run-up, and it got delayed, and I have just been holding through. That was probably a big mistake. Should have sold out. But now is the time. This is a really nice little dip. Now, I'm expecting this to dip, and I know it's negative on the MACD, but I'm expecting this to cross over. Should happen this week, and we should start seeing positive price action. The other reason why I like this stock a lot is because there's been multiple insider buys along the way to FDA date, and so those are typically the best of the best. So if this gets approved, this run-up should be really, really strong up to approval date on September 23rd. Continuing to hold, and still a little early, but if you get in now, you're in a fantastic position, in my opinion, at $10.37 a share. This is a real bargain, and I think this is going to shoot up. I think that we're looking at around $17, $18 prior to PDUFA date. I think this will run big time. All right, number 6 is ticker symbol SESN. So this is SESN Bio, and this is looking really nice for a continued run. It had this amazing run before. It's had a little bit of a pullback, but it's turning around. The RSI momentum is in positive. Analysts have an average target price of $7 a share, so that's about an 80% upside there. My average in it's $4.66, so I'm down in it currently 12.18%, but I'm not too worried. This is one that I think is going to really move upwards towards the PDUFA date. So they have a bladder cancer drug that is up for approval in August, and the run-up should be extremely strong. So this is one to watch, one to add to your portfolio. I think this PDUFA run-up is going to be very, very good. Okay, let's go to number 5. And number 5 is a golden strategy pick, and this is covered. The golden strategy is covered in our premium room, and there are so many picks in there that are golden strategy. Typically, these have a very high win rate. And this is Bitfarm, ticker symbol BITF. Analysts have an average target price of $6.49, so that is right around a 60% upside, so that is looking very good. My average in it's $3.93. We were finally in the positive after hours, and this is benefiting big time from the crackdown that China is having on Bitcoin and Bitcoin farming and different things of that nature. And so I expect this to really, really run. There are lots of big hedge funds and different hedge funds that are loading on this. And so this is one that hasn't broken out yet. But with all the institutional ownership increasing on this, and with how everything is going with the crackdown from China, they are positioned perfectly for a big move upwards. You can see in the past this was all the way up to $7.33, especially as Bitcoin turns around. And this is lots better, in my opinion, this particular stock than Amara or some of the others that are out there. And I think this is going to be really, really great. So this is one to get in right now and ride to the promised land as Bitcoin increases in price, which I expect will happen. In my opinion, that will happen, but also with how the focus is no longer going to be on Bitcoin farming in China, that they stand to benefit uniquely from that situation. So this should be a great pick. We just had a MACD golden cross. We are way undervalued and should look for a really nice run. This is a good one to get on Monday morning. Okay, number 4. This is another call out from our premium room, but trying to give you the best of the best. And there are so many of these buyback picks, and all of them have just been fantastic. And this is Steel Dynamics, ticker symbol STLD. This is a buyback strategy pick. Analysts have an average target price of $76.22. My average in it is $58.69. So far since calling this out is up 4.78%. Okay, so what are we looking at? Well, MACD Golden Cross right there. That's nice. Like to get those. And we have, it's not overheated or overbought at all on the RSI. There's plenty of room to run. Steel is going to go up in price. Why? Infrastructure deal. And that is happening. And also they have announced a recent buyback program. And it is a large amount of the float. And it's a large enough amount that we should be paying attention to. So not only do you have the company buying back shares, lowering the amount of shares that are out there, which is a great deal for shareholders, but you have this infrastructure deal and steel prices most likely to increase due to that. So there's so much upside on this stock. I'm expecting this one to be a fantastic pick. In my opinion, this is a must buy. I like STLD big time for a move upwards. All right, let's go to number 3. All right, I have taken so much heat for this one, but this is Clover Health. This was last week's number 1. This is a squeeze play, and it hasn't happened. And the pressure is building. Still a very high short percentage of 36.9%. It is the point where it has to be taken higher. So we are starting to have and should have very close and seen the bottom here, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm expecting this to cross over on the MACD and for this to be an explosive move upwards. We have filled that lower gap, so now we don't have that to worry about anymore. All the gaps have been filled down to the downside, and now I think we can see a big move upwards. So this is going to be powerful. I really do think so. I have done my research on this, and at some point this is going to be taken higher, and this is going to get out of control for those institutions to cover. My average in is $13.95 since calling this out. I'm down 33.55%. I've taken a lot of heat for that. I still understand. I'm still holding. I'm holding strong. I'm expecting this to turn around big time. So that's why I'm in. All right, let's go to number 2. and continue on our way. Ticker symbol ALBO. This is Albireo Pharma. And this has been a nice little PDUFA run-up so far. My average in it's $33.73. Hopefully all of you got in on it when I called it out on previous videos. So far since calling it out is up 5.07%. Analysts have an average target price of $73.43. So expecting a big run for the PDUFA date of July 20th. So at the here in a couple of weeks. This is looking good for a run, and you can see we formed a bottom, but now our momentum's taking us higher. I expect with the market that this is going to increase, and we should see a nice run up to that date. So this is a good one to get in. I think we'll do very, very well. Number one is ridiculously undervalued. Ridiculously undervalued. This is CLSI. Let me CLSI, or however you say it, Cell Science, I don't know. Anyway, here we go. They failed their primary end point, and you can see that here. They got to here, and bam, they got shot down on that primary end point. And then you can see here that we had continued movement downwards. And so there's the smallest of gaps right here, looking for that to fill, if it even is a gap. But this has fallen too far, and here's what happened. When it got down to 8, the CEO and 2 directors loaded up shares at that particular point. Now, it busted through their level and continued downwards even when it hit $8. But those were open market transactions as far as I can tell. And so my average, it's $8.22 so far since calling this out, is up 8.15%. If you want access to these picks as they happen, then join our Patreon group. I don't feel sorry for you in saying it's already run. Well, it hasn't already run. This thing is way, way down, but you missed out on 8% by not being part of that group. And so that is one thing that I like to see what we're doing, see what's going on. Okay, so lots of insider activity. So this is an insider swing play mixed with a really, really oversold position, oversold strategy play. And so this is looking really good for a move upwards. I'm liking it for sure. Anyway, I think you can make a lot of money with this one. I think it's going to be extremely powerful. We could be looking at 300% gains by the time this run is over after it corrects back upwards. I think it can get back up to around 22, 23. Believe it or not, I think it can get all the way to those levels and easily be there. We'll just see what happens. Anyway, wishing all of you the best on the stock market. Please do some good with those profits that you make every year. Benefit your community. I so appreciate all who subscribe and who support me through the Patreon. Thank you so much. And looking forward to a fantastic week this next week. Wishing you all the best, and Raythoven out.